My name is Ntege Gonzaga. I work with Sundatech and I also work with IDIC. I'm being incubated at IDIC. As you can see, we make 3D printers in country. The problem we're trying to solve is reliable, affordable machines that we have not been able to reach our market. We are also solving the problem of using a filament that is not imported. Yeah, so we are import substituting filament. But most of all, we are trying to make sure that the barrier to entry for low volume manufacturing is reduced. What does this mean? It means that if you want to make a plastic part, you don't need to have a mold, an injection molding machine, a large factory and a setup. All you need is that small machine in the background printing. So what are some of the applications that you can make with 3D printing? If you are into, say, casting flower vases, this is one of the pieces that you can make. Yeah, this is a cast piece, but you needed a 3D printed mold to make it. It's not like a machined mold or something. So what means that if you have a 3D printer, you can make a different design every single time. It's a very flexible manufacturing process. So you can make almost anything you can think and design. This is a learning aid. This learning aid is a heart. It shows all the veins that come out of the heart, and it's very good for very tactile learners, people who are very hands-on. Yeah. So this can also be made with a 3D printer. Ideally, to make something like this, you would have to have a mold, a very sophisticated mold, and you have to be able to make 100,000 pieces a year, and that is also extremely challenging. So for low volume manufacturing, this is the answer. If you're talking about a border economy and you want to be a manufacturing economy, I would think this would be the border of manufacturing. So the beauty about these printers is that they are actually made here. And the process of making them came from a frustration of a product we made. We made a product called Akaboxy, where you have your child's favorite cartoon character and you put it on the box. We had to laser cut the box, sand it, paint it, sand it, paint it, until you get the final product. It was so difficult to make. So, and then the logistics of coming up with a mold were also very, very expensive. So we looked for a technology that we could actually make that product, because we already had demand. But the technology itself was out of reach. It was very expensive and we couldn't afford it. So we resorted to engineering our own technology here. The way 3D printing works is that there's a roll of filament, there's a roll of plastic that is being pulled into a melt zone. And that melt zone is being moved relative to the bed. It's like sliced bread. When you have sliced bread and you have different layers of sliced bread, when you put the slices together, they make a shape. That is exactly how 3D printing works. However, the slices in this case, they are like 0.2 of a millimeter. That is like a fifth of a millimeter. If you know what a millimeter is, it's like almost the size of your hair. So it just layers, cuts the software that cuts the 3D model into the very thin layers. And then it melts the plastic and goes around the bed laying the plastic, layer by layer, layer by layer, layer by layer, until you get to the top of the product. That's how 3D printing works. So for 3D printing, you need to be able to have a computer-aided design product. So you need to get into your computer and design something. Once you have a model, then you take it to another software called a slicer. The slicer is the one that's responsible for cutting the model into those very thin slices. Then it compiles a file, which then it gives the 3D printer, which understands it, and then the 3D printer will build that file. So what you see here is a product that has leveraged a lot of materials you can get from our local economy. The steel, the shafts, all of them, we try to find them around in this market and get the products to work. This is an aluminum plate from here, it's cut here, the motors are got from here, the frame, the plastic, most of these parts are actually printed by this machine. So the beauty about this machine that it prints its own parts. So the orange parts that you see, this black part you see. So what we have done is to reduce the logistical component of making this machine here. That's how we have made it reliable and affordable. But also, by continuously iterating, We make a design, it doesn't work, we change it. We make a design, it doesn't work, we change it, we improve. So when you continually work with the product, that's how you come up with a spec that actually works for your environment. So that's how we came to make the printer here. We have already made 100 machines, which we have supplied to the Engineering Development and Innovation Center in Rebitete. They'll be holding some boot camps there where people will come and learn how to use the technology. Now this foot here is an important piece. Why? Because if you're prosthetic, your shoe size will keep changing. And when it keeps changing, especially if you're a young adult, you'll need to buy other feet like this. So these can be made here.